pleasure to welcome CyberBytes' very first 2024 RSA in-person guest, David Primor from Cynomi. So absolute pleasure to have you on, David. How's things?
Yeah, perfect. Great to be here. Great to be. This is the first day of RSA, so being with you is excellent.
Good stuff. Well, I'm sorry I didn't have a whiskey or a beer waiting for you to kick the Monday festivities off. But how was Boston? You flew from Boston to San Fran.
Yeah, so actually I had a much longer flight from Israel to New York to meet some customers, to Chicago to meet additional customers, and then to meet my wonderful sales team in Boston. My sister is in Boston, so I had excellent weekend and then come here.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you are over the jet lag then. I am not. I had a 3:30 wake up, so there's been a lot of coffees consumed.
From UK, right?
Yeah, straight in from Heathrow.
Yeah,
so.
Actually, my partner from the UK is coming tomorrow, so he will have the same problem.
Yeah, there will be a lot of exhausted faces after a couple of days.
But you know why? You need some whiskeys.
Exactly. Well, we've both got a full diary of happy hours to get to. But so for anyone that doesn't know you or Cynomi, it'd be great for you to just give a brief intro into who you guys are and what you're aiming to solve in the security market.
A quick one here from Oliver, one of the co-founders of Aspiron Search. Our CyberBytes podcast showcases the security ecosystem's most exciting companies, but we do much more. Our talent solutions give security vendors the competitive advantage by building high-performing go-to-market and technical teams globally. If you're looking for your next role or need to hire the best talent in this competitive market, then reach out to us directly via our info@email in the show notes. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, so we are a group of cybersecurity professionals out of Israel, UK, and now the US. And we are trying to provide something that is missing for SMBs and mid-market companies to understand what they should do with cybersecurity. We understand that there is a big gap in the market, and the fact that SMBs, mid-market companies depend on service providers, MSPs and MSSPs, with themselves, they don't have all the tools that they need to provide those services to the SMBs and mid-market companies. So we are trying to help MSPs and MSSPs provide what we call virtual CISO. Mm-hmm. So we believe that every company, like enterprise company, that you cannot imagine a company, a big company without a CISO. The same challenges have to smaller companies. So we believe that MSPs, MSSPs, cyber consultancies should be able to provide virtual CISO or any strategic consultancy at scale to the portfolio companies. That's what we are trying to do in Cynomi.
Yeah, good stuff. And so is that as a platform, or is it as a like an MSSP type consulting service?
No, we know how to make platform, and we let the MSSPs and MSPs doing their services. So actually, we sell the platform to MSPs, MSSPs to provide a service to the end customers.
Yeah, because traditionally, when you think of virtual CISO, it's a person giving the advisory services.
Yeah. It's a person, but in fact, this person, with all his knowledge and manual processes, can support very few companies, 2, 3, 5. But MSPs and MSSPs, they have tens and hundreds of customers, and they need to support them because the regulatory requirements, because lots of companies, they cannot get insurance. Mm-hmm. After incidents, they need to make sure that they have the right cyber posture, vendor requirements, third-party assessment. So there are so many things that should be done for end customers, and one CISO within the MSP and MSSP is not enough. And what we also see is that many MSPs understand that they want to go to this cybersecurity journey. They want to provide this CISO, virtual CISO, strategic consultancy, and they don't know how to do that. So having a platform is a good starting point to start providing these services.
Yeah, awesome. And you've got a pretty unique setup that most of your R&D teams are in London. Whereas most, the traditional Israeli way is to have technical teams based in Israel, and then GTM and sometimes leadership based out in the States normally. So what was the reason behind choosing the UK as the kind of R&D base?
Yeah, the main reason was that my partner, co-founder of Cynomi, Roy Azulai, he moved from Israel to do his MBA in Oxford University, and he got in love with Oxford, so he established the startup incubator there, and ran it for about 6 years, then established his own startup. And I was his first cyber consultant or cyber advisor. And then we met and we decided to establish Cynomi. So we had all the knowledge how to structure a company in the UK as well. And we got some funding from Innovate UK. And those funding, we use it for hiring some very talented software people. And what I realized that there are lots of good developers in the UK as well, not only in Israel.
There's some good Brits out there.
So we have developers in Israel. We have lots of developers in the UK, and we are going as we grow. Since you understand that we are in a growing phase, we are going to extend the groups in the UK and establish some additional groups in Israel. So we have both groups that give us redundancy. And it works really, really well. Yeah,
awesome. And the other thing that you'd highlighted was the and I'd call it an achievement, but the achievement of roughly 50-50 female male diversity.
Yeah.
And, again, not an easy feat in the security sector. So was that a kind of proactive thought to try and do that, or did it just kind of naturally happen?
It was naturally happen, but I think that the fact that we have so many women in Cynomi give us some advantages. VP product, VP R&D are both women. I worked with them in the cybersecurity directorate under Prime Minister office for more than 2 years together, and we get along very well. So it was natural for me to convince them to join the Cynomi. VP marketing is female, and we have some more. So it's for me, it's getting something else. I worked very many years in the army in the 8200 unit, which was full of guys, and having a female, I think it's give us some uniqueness.
Yeah, awesome. And you mentioned the cybersecurity. Was it the directorate?
Yeah, it called it at the time Cybersecurity Authority, and I was responsible for all the technology stuff there. So building the national CERT, helping to create tools from a nation perspective.
And did you feel that set, because you were, was it number 2 employee there?
Yeah. I wish it's number 2 or number 1, but yeah.
Depending who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
How did you feel that set you up for your kind of first commercially orientated entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, I think that when you in 8200 or IDF, you understand things from different perspective, from cyber intelligence, but going to the cyber protection of the world, to understand what's the effects of attacks on Israel on the general market, it makes me understand the gaps. So it's not like I imagine what the gaps are. I really felt it. When WannaCry happened, so many hospitals in the UK, but also in Israel, been attacked. And I felt that there is a huge gap for these small businesses that they don't know what to do. And somebody has to help them. And it's not only government, the commercial, the startups should make some more effort to help to the smaller guys.
Do you feel there's sometimes because obviously so the deal size is less, do you feel that it's often an overlooked sector and most startups do just purely focus on enterprise?
Yeah, when I decided to go to this route to help SMBs mid-market, they told me, why don't you go to the enterprise space? Because it's easier, or maybe the startups ecosystem in Israel, they understand it better. But when I'm going here to the US, everybody appreciates what the MSPs and MSSPs are doing, understand that there is a huge opportunity. And I think Cynomi, in the tremendous traction that we currently have and very accelerated growth that we have in selling, having more than 130 service providers as customers, we understand that we could actually create this market and being one of the major leaders. And that's make me very, very excited. And not only from selling perspective, but really help those small companies that needs to understand what to do, how to do that. And if it in this, let's say, the direction, the MSPs and MSSPs can make more money, this is fine. That's the way you do business,
They're always going to follow the cash. So yeah absolutely.
Yeah.
And what are from a commercial GTM business perspective, what are the other advantages or disadvantages and challenges that come with focusing purely on SMB?
It's a huge market. Maybe it's more difficult. I don't know, because this is the market that I'm focused in. But I see the success. So if you find the right go-to-market, and we understand that service providers for us is the right go-to-market, if you understand that you could generate value to the service provider for one hand, and to the end customer in the other hand, together you could make something very powerful. And I think this is the uniqueness of Cynomi, the ability not only to provide something to the end customer, but also to provide a value to the MSP that understand how we can make money with helping the end customers. And together, it's like a magic, and it works.
Yeah, awesome. And this is a kind of rewind to your 8200 days, but and then a fast forward to current times. But you told me that your daughter is currently in the 8200 unit.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Was that you pushing her towards the kind of security arena, or was it a natural kind of follow in father's footsteps?
I would say that the army is picking the best people for 8200. So I didn't do anything. They just picked her. But the good story is that after October 7th, I found myself in the serving for 2 to 3 months in the same base as my daughter. So I had the unique experience to serve for the army in the same time as my daughter, which was.
What did she have to say about that?
She could eat breakfast and dinner with her father. I did night shift, but yeah, for me. It was a very unique experience to be longer time with my daughter. Was usually no time with her father.
Absolutely, and bearing in mind she's kind of and the other people in her unit at the very beginning of their kind of journey in the security sector. Kind of knowing what you know from your many years in the area, kind of what advice would you give them, or what advice would you give yourself on how to approach a career in security?
Oh, it's a difficult question. I think that you must love what you do. You understand that the topics that you got your profession, you could take advantage of it and go to the commercial sector and try to do something with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, building something from scratch was very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I have so many things I know about cyber and cybersecurity makes it more accessible to me to do something like that. So career in security, if you are in 800, it's natural for you to go to that direction.
Mm-hmm.
For other people, go wherever you find it interesting for you. During my career, I tried many things to do. So I like really much physics. So I did a PhD in physics at CERN, in the big particle accelerator. I did it about 15 years ago, but it was for me wonderful experience. And I wrote a book, which was a children's book, which is also excellent experience. And now in Cynomi. So I feel that I accomplished several goals in my life. And this is great.
Awesome. And I remember us having the conversation about the book you wrote, and you said it taught you the most important lesson prior to building a commercial security vendor, which was the importance of a good sales team. So talk us through that and kind of how the lesson of a book helped
you know, I'm a product person or technological person. So I know to build a great product. That's what I did in the army, in the cybersecurity authority. And that's what I did with writing a book, a good book. Hundreds of people like to read it to their children. But what I found out that it's not enough. You have to sell it. And how do you sell books? So I found myself taking all my day offs and vacations, going to pitch the book to the different shops and stores all over Israel, trying to convince the sellers that my book is the best book. And it took me a lot of time and energy, and how to approach people when we have, let's say you could have some 1 hour, 2 hours that they let you introduce the books to some potential buyers, and you're just like an SDR or like a salesperson trying to convince them why they should pick your book, and it's better than other books. And for me, it was like first experience of trying to sell something from myself and to somebody else, to try to get the attention, to convince them to be completely somebody else. And then I realized that sales is extremely important for your success. You must have a great product, but it's not enough.
I think, especially first-time founders, it's often a trap people fall into, which is just expecting the product to sell itself, and then or expecting sales to hit it out the park with little resources just because the product's good, and that is far from the reality.
So most of my day, I'm dealing with sales, marketing, things that I never did in the past, but I feel so excited to do that. I learn every day. I learn new things about that. So it's an exciting journey.
And what should people be excited about for the future of Cynomi?
New features, cool features, lots of new service provider using that, lots of expansion. Cynomi will be big, so we are already 30 people. We've been 15, I think, 6 months ago, and we're going to double in a very short time. So we'll be big, we'll be dominant, and we'll be very effective.
Fantastic.
So
Well, I am very much looking forward to seeing what the future holds for you and the team. So thank you so much for coming on, and really hope
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, pleasure. And we can finish a game of checkers afterwards. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed this latest episode of CyberBytes, the podcast. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends. If you want to explore being a guest or how Aspiron Search can help you build high-performing security and go-to-market teams, then get in touch on LinkedIn or info@aspironsearch.com.